Hello! Today I would like to try a new dish with you, and again this time we move to the medieval period, and geographically we move to Andalusia. So I would like to do a medieval kind of cheesecake from Andalusia, and this recipe was written down by Ibn Razin. Now the book title is so long but I actually have to read it off. It's called The Book of the Excellent Table, composed of the best foods and the best dishes. It was compiled in the 13th century in Arabic by Ibn Razin. Now let's have a look at the ingredients. We have here 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I have 1 cup of milk. I have some ricotta cheese, olive oil, pepper, some cinnamon, honey, some yeast, and some water. So first of all, before doing the cheesecake itself, I have to prepare the dough because it is a yeast dough and thus it needs to rise a little. So I add 1 teaspoon of dry yeast. I've warmed the milk a little bit, so that the yeast will rise easier. I mix this and then I add also some olive oil. And the idea is to obtain a semi-liquid dough that is a little bit like pancake dough, just with yeast and without eggs. So I add a little bit more water, exactly, to have this consistency. I stir well. I add a pinch of salt. And then I just cover the whole thing with a clean cloth and leave it to rise for 1 hour or 2. You see that this dough has nicely risen, it's nice and fluffy. So what we do now is that we grease an oven-proof dish with oil, not too little. We put 1 layer of dough. Then 1 layer of cheese. This is a ricotta cheese. You could also use a soft feta cheese, like the Turkish Pioneer, for example, which is a little firmer and maybe a little easier to put into pieces and to spread, but well, I like to use ricotta, especially as I live in Italy and I can easily get it. Now we put another layer of dough. Again, add more cheese. A little more even maybe. And we put the rest of the dough on top, covering the cheese. I've preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, which is around 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I will now pop this into the oven. Now after half an hour in the oven, this is how it looks like. And I am going to drizzle this with some honey now. After all, it's a cake. And then I add cinnamon. And if you know medieval cuisine, not surprisingly, pepper as well. That is a classic combination, sweet, cinnamon and pepper, that in this case comes from the Middle East, but was very popular also during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance in Europe. Voila! 13th century cheesecake from Andalusia.